Max Zwerbach, the man they called Kid Twist, met his end on a balmy spring evening in 1908, not in a gritty back-alley brawl, but on the festive, gaslit avenues of Coney Island. He was only 24 years old. As he strolled along Oceanic Walk with his girlfriend and his strongest ally, the night air filled with the sound of gunfire. He collapsed into the doorway of the South Brooklyn Hotel, a single bullet having found its mark behind his ear. But was this simply the work of a jealous rival? Or was it the final move in a much larger, more dangerous game? To understand why Kid Twist fell, you have to understand how a tailor's son from Delancey Street rose to become the most feared Jewish gangster of his age. The story of Kid Twist begins not in the Bowery fighting pits, but in the violent chaos of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Born Maximilian Zweifach in 1884, he arrived in New York's Lower East Side as a 2-year-old, his family fleeing anti-Semitic riots. His father, a tailor, dreamed of a quiet life for his son, a dream that was quickly shattered. By his teenage years, Max was already a fixture in the streets, a skilled thief with a quick wit. This wit saved him during his first arrest for stealing a bicycle in 1899. When the judge asked for his occupation, the teenager famously replied, "Bicycles," earning him a fine and a lesson in the power of audacity. This audacity caught the attention of the city's reigning king of crime, Monk Eastman. By 1903, after killing a rival in a card game dispute, a killing ruled as self-defense, Max had fully transformed into Kid Twist, a top lieutenant in the brutal Eastman Gang. When Monk Eastman was finally sent to prison in 1904, a power vacuum erupted. The battle for succession was between Kid Twist and his Irish-American rival, Richie Fitzpatrick. Twist understood that in this world, peace was a weapon. He invited Fitzpatrick to a peace conference at a saloon on Sheriff Street. The meeting was a trap. As Fitzpatrick rushed out, realizing his peril, one of Twist's men, Harris Stahl, cut him down with gunfire. The crown was his. As the new leader, Kid Twist proved he was more than just a brawler. He was an innovator. He diversified the gang's portfolio away from simple street thuggery into sophisticated operations. He orchestrated a massive forgery scheme, flooding the city with $4,000 worth of fake New York Central Railroad tickets. He even dabbled in beverage distribution, creating his own brand of celery tonic. The drink came in bottles emblazoned with his own picture, and local shopkeepers were persuaded, often through violence, to stock it at exorbitant prices. This was protection racket meets product placement, a terrifyingly early version of organized crime's reach into legitimate business. His inner circle was a rogues gallery of legendary toughs, including his brother, Kid Sly Fox, and a young protege named Jack Zellick. But his most formidable ally was Samuel Pristrich, a former circus strongman known as Cyclone Louie. Louie was famous for bending iron bars with his bare hands, and he became Twist's enforcer and constant companion, even moving in with Twist's family in Brownsville. However, power in the underworld is always contested. Kid Twist's most ruthless venture was the hostile takeover of a profitable gambling den run by a 5 Points gang affiliate named Charles the Bottler Greenwich. Twist methodically squeezed him out, first demanding a partnership for his man Stahl, then cutting Greenwich out completely. When the Bottler barricaded himself inside his own Stuss game, daring the Eastmans to come get him, it was Cyclone Louie who walked in and shot him dead. This act sealed a blood debt with the 5 Points gang and its leader, Paul Kelly. It was this combustible mix, a gangland rivalry and a romantic triangle, that lit the fuse for Kid Twist's demise. Despite having a wife and child at home, Twist was known as a ladies' man. His regular girlfriend was a dancer named Carol Terry. Unfortunately for him, Terry was also linked to a young 5 Points gang member named Louis Pioggi, known derisively as Louis the Lump. The rivalry had escalated months earlier when Twist and Cyclone Louie cornered Pioggi in a Coney Island bar and humiliated him. forcing him at gunpoint to jump from a second-story window. Pioggi never forgot. On the night of May 14, 1908, the two gangsters went to Coney Island to watch Carol Terry perform. After the show, they had dinner. As they left the cafe around 8 p.m., walking with Terry and another dancer, Louie the Lump emerged from the shadows. He struck Terry with his fist and opened fire. Cyclone Louie, the man of iron, was riddled with 6 bullets. Kid Twist, the cunning king of the Lower East Side, fell with a single shot.
But the story has a darker footnote. Witnesses reported seeing a carriage full of Italian gangsters parked nearby that night. Legend has it that Louie the Lump did not act alone. He called his boss, Paul Kelly, for permission, and a squad of 5 pointers arrived as backup. The bartender of a nearby saloon even claimed that just after the shooting, the driver of that carriage tossed him a revolver to hide. Louie Pioggi served less than a year for the killing, allegedly boasting he could do the time standing on me head. The death of Kid Twist was a pivotal moment. It shattered the Eastman Gang and shifted the balance of power in New York, paving the way for a new generation of gangsters. His name, Kid Twist, was so potent that it was later adopted by the infamous killer Abe Relis, ensuring that the legend of Max Zwerbach would echo through the annals of crime for decades to come.